Hey everybody, it's your boy Cruz, and it is Tuesday night, March the 25th, and hope that you guys have had a great Tuesday. Man, that's an interesting song right there. Nothing going on but the rent. You know what? And that's about right because as the lady said, she's singing that was an anthem at one time that all women were singing that there's no romance without any finance. So um, we're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight, talking about keeping your eyes on the prize and goal setting and no 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 romance if you ain't got no finance. So we're gonna be talking about all of that tonight. But before we get started, we got to pay these bills because if we don't pay these bills, we ain't gonna be able to stay on the air and we be singing that song for real. Nothing going on but the rent for real. Hey guys, I always say each week, and please listen to be careful here. If you've been involved in an accident and it's no fault of your own, then before you talk to the attorneys, before you talk to the adjusters, make sure you talk to a reputable attorney. And that reputable attorney that we recommend here on Let's Talk Tuesday is the G Law Firm, our platinum sponsors. Why? Not because they sponsor us, because we believe in them. They have a proven track record. They're reliable, they're relentless, and they're going to tell you exactly whether or not you have a case. They're not going to string you around. They're not going to, keep you guessing and everything. They're very, very straightforward. And they've been doing this for close to 40 years now here in this area. So, again, if you're looking for attorneys that will get you what your case is worth and let you know up front what's going on, then contact the G Law Firm at 804-226-4111, or you can go to the website and request a free consultation at glawfirm.com. All right, the bill is paid, and we ain't got to worry about well, we ain't got to worry about the rent.
You have to get the rent paid.
Yeah,
That's another week, right?
at least this week. For sure.
At least this week.
How you doing, AK?
I'm good. Good. Happy Monday to you. Oh, today Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
I'm all.
Yeah, don't take us back.
Yeah, I'm all just about to leave.
Yeah. If you had said Wednesday, Thursday, I'd like,
Don't take us back,
don't
right?
take us back.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, we want to stay right here. Want to let you know tonight, our topic again is keeping your eye on the prize. What does that mean in 2025? And then rolling that into talking about budgets and planning. And as Miss Guthrie said, that was almost 10 years ago. That song might be a little bit older than that. That she says nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a job to be with me, and you just kind of laid out the plan. And
That's a true statement.
and y'all was singing that song for a minute. That song was like
song back in the day, right?
yeah, it was the anthem. Do want to slide up in there, slide up in your house, not you sliding in his house or sliding in your car, not you, and things like that. So we're gonna talk about that. I got some interesting things I want to talk to the fellows about because guys, we're not keeping our eye on the prize. Unfortunately, we are going backwards in a lot of the things that we're doing.
I think so.
I unfortunately, AK, especially with the younger guys and some of the older guys now that are trying to really skirt their responsibilities. And so, and then they want to complain about, how the women treat them. Well, it all depends on how you present yourself too. If you're not presenting yourself in the right form and fashion, you're gonna get treated like you present yourself. So, I want to let you know that making sure call us tonight, and I'm gonna say this throughout the night: 804-767-0491. We want to hear from you. Tonight we are on the Let's Talk Tuesday page. We are on our YouTube page, and also one other page. I forgot, but we're out here, and we want to continue to ask you all to go to our YouTube page, subscribe, because we want to continue to transition to that channel. Thank you all for those that have already subscribed. Thank you all that go back and watch the show afterwards. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people
Yeah. I
that
get a lot of comments, especially in my DM after the fact.
be all in your DM.
Yeah, I was talking with someone tonight, earlier today about my DM. DM crazy.
I bet your DM be just lit.
My DM crazy. And some of the folks that's putting messages in my DM is crazy.
So we may not put you on blast. It all depends on what you're doing in her DM.
Mm.
So, but yeah, when we talk about again keeping your eye on the prize, we know that Paul had specifically was talking to the church at Corinth. He was talking about running a race. We're in a race right now, and I don't know about you, but I'm in the race to win it. And
Absolutely.
exactly. So I think we have to. That's a principle here of
That's the goal.
There you go. That's the goal. What is your goal? What is the prize that you try to obtain? Is it generational wealth? Is it getting a house or getting a stacked bank account? What is it that each day basically when you get up and say, okay, these are the things I need to achieve. Uh, and then how do you go about achieving those things? You know, I know 8 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, before we purchased our house, I made up in my mind about 3 years prior to that. Look, I want to own my own home. What do I need to do
Mhm.
to start setting myself up and setting the family up to obtain that goal? And I started looking at that time was the interest rate right? Was my credit sufficient enough to get me a good interest rate? That I was I going to need a healthy down payment? Uh, and could I sustain or could we sustain the payment? A lot of
Right.
people get a house and they live in it, and you see, especially like these millionaires and stuff, look at these houses and don't think about the upkeep, the maintenance, the taxes,
Mhm,
all
mhm,
those things you have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
uh,
we all want things out of life as we work,
uh
and a lot of us are working multiple jobs and have multiple streams of income coming in so they can live a certain way
right.
and to be able to, at some point, go sit down and
Mhm.
not do nothing and just enjoy life
Right.
is our goal of where we're trying to be. But you whatever you do in life, you gotta love exactly what you do. You can
Mhm.
talk about everything that you want in the world, but if you're working towards a goal, and so you have to work to get this money,
Right.
to put this money in the bank, so you can kind of do some of the things that you want to do. But you gotta really love what you're doing.
Mhm.
And when you don't, I just believe money hungry people will never be successful. To me,
Right.
because most money hungry people will go about getting this money the wrong way or step on whoever to get to it. However, I got to get to it, and there's nothing wrong with hustling. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Nothing wrong with hustling, but there's a way that you have to, work the system and work this game of life to get to where you're trying to get without stepping all over everybody else
Exactly.
and taking advantage of other people. So, I mean, it's a method to the madness. Definitely, it's a method to the madness. And all of us that are entrepreneurs are trying to get to a goal.
Right.
I'm 60.
Mhm.
I started this game late. I didn't start this game early. I've been a planner for years. So I've
Right.
been out in these streets doing that for years. But having the venue and then acquiring a second venue, you know, wasn't really in the plan.
Right.
So, it kind of got dumped a little bit, and a little bit was me. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot at the age of 60 and trying to and
You look
not
good.
and
Girl,
having
look good.
I don't care how I'm looking. What all I'm saying is I started this game late and
Okay.
trying to achieve, how much longer am I going to work? I guess we all get up from Social Security at the age of 67.
We hope.
We hope.
With
So, but that's not
the
going to sustain us. Social
no.
Security is not going to do it.
they talk about that all the time. Each morning I get up, you see these little news flashes when I'm logging on my computer, and they talk about you'll see 6 or 7 different articles on how much money do you need after you retire.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at these figures, they talk about will $1 million sustain like $1 million, but that's what they're saying. As people uh, get closer to that retirement age, if they fully want to retire, you talk about $1 million. I'm like, oh, I'm a whole lot short.
Yeah, we're a
you
little
know,
short over here. We're a little short over here.
yeah. But
But it's all good though.
yeah,
It's all good.
and hopefully, we're gonna get a little bit of this. I know everybody don't like to talk about politics, but with the president and the real president, because one of them is faking the job, and the other one is telling him what to do like a puppet. Yeah. Um, we're hoping that Social Security, still be here in the next, they're projecting next 15 to 20 years, it may not be here.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yeah, everybody who was small kids, they start banking some money because most likely they're not going to be on Social Security. You
right.
got these kids at this point,
Yeah,
and even teenagers at this point. I just don't think it's going to be
yeah.
Social Security.
That's what they mentioned. They said, the younger generation that's coming up, the those Gen Xers and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, they need to start looking at how they're gonna when they get into their 60s and 70s, will they be able to have enough money to sustain, like I said, to
Right.
sustain their normal life? And
Good
that's a
question.
reality. So you have to, and somebody like, I guess what, in our 20s, are we really thinking about, you know, the things that we think about now in terms of retirement and what was on our mind?
Well, we wasn't thinking about that in the 20s, and I'm not even sure if I was thinking about it in the 30s.
Mhm.
Late 30s, I started like I got to get my mess together.
Okay.
Late 30s, but I married at 36. I married kind of old. Not old, but
Right.
that was most
You
people
started
married.
delayed and
Everything was
everything.
delayed, right? Everything was delayed. But yeah,
That's all right. But it
and
preserves you. At least you don't
you
look
just
run
didn't think
down.
about it. And then if you came out of a bad marriage, you
Okay.
divorced, and came out praying that your head was above water, you just don't know what the setbacks in
Right.
people's lives can be,
Mhm.
and they feel like they have to start over.
That's a good point,
So,
AK. And it kind of is a segue of what we're talking about. You see some people come out of bad marriage, and how do you stay, again, keep your eye on the prize, staying focused when you're taking a hit like that? How do you do that?
yeah, well, if you bounce back and now you have a new husband and you have a family and you can't live separate in that house.
Okay.
You can't. It's no way that she got these bills to pay and you got these bills to pay. You guys need to come together. To me, it needs to be one account. I've talked about it before. My account, your account, joint account.
Right.
No one touched the money in the joint account. That account is for bills. And I believe that money should be in there. And one or the other, whoever is good with the finances, is the one that needs to be paying the bills in the house. But it's just weird to me if you go and say, well, I'm going to go pay the insurance bill and I'm going to go over here and pay the light bill. Why y'all ain't doing that shit together? I'm not understanding that.
Right.
So to me, it's almost you're married, but you're in a house with separation to me.
Yeah.
Because do you really know what's going on do you know every bill that's in the house that has to be paid? And then again, you sit down and say, look, you pay these 2 bills and I'm going to pay these 10. I don't know. I just think it needs to be some kind of togetherness.
I think, and it's like any business where you're in a partnership. You set your budget and you have to know what your expenditures are so that you see whether your income is enough to take care of those expenditures. And you say, okay, we got $100,000 income coming in here. How are we going to budget and making
Right.
sure
Right.
that we don't overextend ourselves?
Right.
If you close to 99,500 in your bills,
Right.
common sense will tell you you ain't got but $500 left.
Right. How much money is going into the savings account? All
Right.
of this is a factor.
Exactly.
You got your separate savings, but you have to have a joint savings to me and a joint checking where you two know what the hell's going on and what's going out the door.
Right.
And then neither one of you is going in and touching, this joint account because now you short on your money.
Exactly.
I just think that just can't happen. And I just don't believe that, a couple should go into that joint account without permission, without telling the next person, not necessarily permission, but you got to at least talk about what it is you're going in there for.
Mm-hmm.
If if it's not bill related.
Right.
I just believe that. But I know so many people, and I know couples who live separate in the same house, claim they love each other, but they doing separate stuff in their house. I don't get it. That's not how I want to live. If it works for you, more power to you. I don't want to live like that if I ever get married again. I'm not living like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like in my household, there's a joint account, and the bills come out of that joint account. And then we have, other accounts that are personal, maybe in another bank or something like that. And then we have, a savings account. And you're right. We don't go into that savings account unless we discuss, okay, this is what's going on. I need to, transfer this over here for that particular purpose, and with an expectation that that money's coming back in there too. But and that's one of the things again, people forget and that two become one, and two become one for a reason. Because if you doing your thing over there and I'm doing my thing over here, sooner or later something's gonna fall through the cracks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna fall through the cracks.
Yeah, and that's why again, keeping your eyes on the prize is you got to sit down together and determine what is that prize. What does our life look like together? I know what it was when you had your own apartment, I had my own apartment, we were doing things, and now we've come together. We're a unit. So what does this look like for us moving forward here?
Yeah.
And I would venture to say, AK, that a number of marriages fall apart. We already know based on finances, because there's no communication about those.
Right.
Yeah. So, I would say, brothers, and I had to learn this lesson. This is not something that typically black men are taught growing up.
Right.
Is that like our white counterparts, their parents start talking to them early about responsibility, about parenting, about household, about finances and things like that. And we have to start teaching our kids about credit.
Right.
Keeping your credit straight, man. Because I know when I was young, they sent me a credit card. Oh snap!
Yeah, I did too. Even though my parents did talk to us about that. Yeah, I was talked to about that, but I got in college and when I got their credit card anyway, because they were handing them things out like with a piece of paper.
Right.
Back then, but and just got in a whole lot of financial debt back then.
Yep.
In my early 20s, looking crazy, I don't know what.
Now my mom, like I said, she said, pay your bills, make sure you pay your bills. Like, okay. But she always paid her bills, never had the lights turned off, never had a phone disconnected, never been set out, evicted. I've been through all that.
Right.
in my younger years.
I've never been through any of that, thank God.
Well, you special.
Never been through any of that. No, I was scared. I'm like, I'm gonna pay my light bill.
Right.
I'm gonna pay my rent in this apartment. I don't care if I ain't got nothing to eat, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna need a roof on my head because I can't be in these streets. So yeah, I've never went through anything like that. So I just never had no money. After it was all said and done, stuff got paid. It was just no money left.
It is a humbling experience, and that's why now I think I'm so laser focused. It drives my wife crazy because I'm always talking about, we got to pay this, I got to do this, and she's like, do you always have to talk about, that's just, making sure.
It comes around quick.
Yeah.
For the next month.
Exactly.
Bills come around quick.
I'm like,
so yeah.
Seems like I just paid that yesterday. It's time to pay it again.
And it's time to pay it again.
So keeping your eye on the prize again means a lot of different things. Want to make sure that you guys call in 804-767-0491. What does keeping eyes on the prize mean for you and your household? What does it mean in a relationship standpoint? What goals do you have, apart from each other and together with each other? Because sometimes we on two different streets. I'm on West Street, you on North.
Mm-hmm.
And if we not somewhere in the same vicinity, going the same direction, we got a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you with finance, and a lot of times, finance will tear up a whole house.
Yeah, well.
Finance will tear up a whole house. If you going in the account, you stealing money out, because that's how I look at it. I don't care if you married to me or not, but if you went into that account and we did not talk about that joint account, and you went in and pulled $1,000 out or whatever the case, then you steal it. As far as I'm concerned,
That's interesting.
stealing from the house.
It's a lot of people say, well, that's our money. So I can do with what I want to.
No, not when you're together,
Right.
not out of the joint account.
Yeah.
Now, what have you spent all your money in your account? The reason why you over here in this joint account.
That's an issue. Isn't it?
Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That is a whole problem because in any business, again, and I have to, so people understand this, if you're in a business together, one partner just can't go to the and pull money out of the
Exactly.
account without telling the other partner and getting authorization. That's why you don't necessarily have the person that's the treasurer. You got partners. You need a separate treasurer
Mhm.
or somebody that does the accounting, so it keeps everything clean. So, but in marriages and relationships, that's where you got to have trust and integrity.
Yeah.
If you got somebody again that, like you said, that don't is not financial responsible, I'm sorry, your name can't go on the account.
Mhm.
You can be a
Mhm.
signer. What do they call an authorized signer? But they can still get money out the account.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
uh, that's when you,
Oh my
that's when you
God.
have that your account, and then again the responsible person
Mhm.
keeps the joint account.
Because I watched my mom sit down and pay bills on a weekly basis.
Uh-huh.
I watched that. My mom had a job for a hot minute before my daddy decided he was going to go down to the little shoe store that she was working at in Cambridge and act like a whole jackass because he didn't want her to work.
Okay.
So she quit that. My mom has never worked. And I noticed like none of the Wilson wives worked on the farm. There was four of them.
Right.
Okay, 4 brothers' houses. And then none of them have a job. But we didn't really go without. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I didn't particularly like the method of how my father, did, because I saw my mom and I heard my mom ask my dad for money every Friday because it was 4 girls in the house. It was things we need.
Right.
We need all the girly stuff and stuff that we need. And it bothered me as I grew up and older. And I said to mommy, I said, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Well, she said it to me, but I agreed with her. And then I brought it back to her as I got older.
Mhm.
And I said, I understand what you mean when you said you get a job, you work for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have your own money, so you don't have to go and ask no man for no freaking money.
Okay.
Because I saw and I heard my mom do that throughout my life growing up. And most of the time, she got what she needed to make sure we were good. And then there was other times he was like, well, you gotta wait. And he was like, this can't wait. You know what I'm saying? This can't wait. And so it just really just like, I don't want that type of husband right there.
Okay.
I love my dad, don't get me wrong, because
Right.
he took care of us.
Right.
We didn't really want for not, but we were poor. But as I grew up and I see other things now, we really want poor.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? We really want poor. I felt like we were poor growing up,
But
but we really want
get some
poor.
of the things you wanted and not needed. Yeah.
After I'm seeing some other house, some other folks is living and things they've gone through since I left, Cambridge, and
Uh-huh.
I don't live there no more, and we're not doing some of the things that we were doing. We really want poor.
Yeah.
We lived off the land. We grew tobacco. We made the fruit. We had it. You name the vegetable, we grew it. You name the apple tree. You name the fruit. We had it all.
Oh, see,
it was nothing that we could not really want for. We killing cows and pigs, and
Okay.
we had smoke houses. It was crazy how
Right.
we lived. But we really thought we was poor, but we really weren't poor. But I do not want a husband like I saw my mom. I'm not asking my husband for money ever. And that kind of bothered me because my mom had to do that because she didn't work. But my mom was sewing for a living. She was sewing everybody prom dresses. So she made money other ways.
Right.
She had to. Because how do it feel if your wife had to come and ask you for money every single week? You got paid every Friday. Mm-mm. That's good. That's a whole problem for me.
And
You always should know what the hell we need up in here. You got 4 girls in this damn house. You should already know what we need. So for my mom to say I need so, that just really bothers me.
well, do you think it was more, and like I said, because I know you had a wonderful dad, but it was the culture that he grew up in, is that the men brought home the money,
Mhm.
and they dispersed the money as needed to
Mhm.
the homemaker.
And yeah,
So,
yeah,
so he was basically following the
he did.
culture.
And right, we ain't never had the lights off, and we never had, I never missed a school ring or a prom, or I didn't miss anything. My school pictures, everything. We got things. Really, really didn't know how he did it with 4 girls in the house working at Kennel Lee. Couldn't be making so much money back then.
Okay.
But things wasn't as much either.
Right.
But it was just the point that I heard my mom ask my dad for money, and that just, we had a whole conversation after we got grown and moved to Richmond, and I'm like, I ain't doing that. I'm not asking no damn man for no damn money when your ass is up in this house and you see what we need. You got 4 damn girls up in here. We need some shoes. You know what I'm saying? Thank God my mom made all our clothes. And we didn't, at that time, really didn't appreciate it. But our stuff was custom made. Like my Aunt Claudia, like beside my mom, they were sewing their butts off.
Okay.
With Cynthia's mom, the photographer.
Right.
Her mom, man, they were sewing their tail off. We went to school like sharp, like every freaking week. And it's like we didn't appreciate it.
Wow.
Now I wish she was here
Right.
to make some damn custom clothes, because she made stuff to fit us. We didn't know what it was to buy a pair of shoes. We didn't know what it was to go and buy, coats and jackets. My mom made everything.
Wow.
Everything.
That's awesome.
I'm probably sure they bought us a pair of pants and stuff. I just really don't remember. I just remember my mom making them.
Y'all had a good life. Hey, Big Will wants to say, Big Will said, pay bills first. Yeah, that's keeping an eye on the prize, because you're right. And a lot of people do that. They will do the opposite of that. They will spend money on this, that, and the third, and then look up they short on the rent, or they short on the mortgage, short on whatever. There are sacrifices that you have to make, and I had to learn that lesson. If I saw a Mimi said that if all your bills are paid, then you're not broke. So I can identify with that. I feel good every time I stroke that check for the mortgage, and that joint clear. Until then, I said, Lord, thank you. Until the next
we got
time.
30 more days to go for the next one, right? We got 30 more days.
Exactly. And that's the way I feel that men, especially in this day and age, need to understand taking care of business, making sure that your family is good, even and this is something else that drives Cherry crazy. I'm always talking about if I'm not here, and one reason I talk about that is I want her to be able to continue the same life or better, if something were to happen to me. And the only way that happens is I got to be a planner. I got to be a thinker.
Yeah, and you should.
And looking at,
Absolutely.
okay, 5 years from now, what do we want to be at?
Right.
10 years from now. 10 years from now, I'll be 73. Hopefully sitting like this in the evening with my remote chilling, and enjoying life. That's my eye on the prize. In good health, able with sound mind, can go and do like your dad still drives and stuff, right?
Yeah, dad's still driving at 92. He's still cooking.
Right.
He's still doing whatever he want to do. Ain't no grass growing under this dude's feet whatsoever.
Right. And see that's
None.
A prayer for me is that I still be able to do that
At 92, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm so glad I'm out the streets now that I see people still running around doing stuff. AK, there's nothing wrong with going out and having a good time, but I'm talking about that hard in life, drinking and smoking, and they 30, but they look 70.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
My dad swear up and down because he never drinks.
Mm-hmm.
He never smoked. I've never seen my dad take a drink. I've never seen him smoke a cigarette. I've never seen my dad do nothing sideways. And he swears up and down between that and just, keep moving, constantly keep moving is the reason why he's living as long as he lives. I heard him tell Miss Shelton one day I came home for a doctor's appointment and Miss Shelton was just messing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard him tell Miss Shelton, he said, yeah, I'm probably going to live there to see about 100. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
That's the mindset.
Okay.
He got his eye on the prize. He's like, he already telling y'all, And again, they talk about because we are a society, we sit down so much. Like I thought about the other day, I'm locked in front of my computer 8 hours.
Yeah, but you don't sit down. You stay on the go. I stay on the go. Our work ethics is just crazy.
Yeah.
And every time I try to call and talk to you and Sherry, your tail in the damn yard. You're not the only person I know who cut your yard more than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
That is a running joke, but everybody that know me is like, okay, it's spring coming up now. We ain't gonna be able to talk to you.
I don't know anybody who cut that grass like you.
It's crazy because it seems like I go out there and cut it, and I look at it 2 hours later. It's like, where's grass come from?
That's all in your head.
I'm like, I gotta check. Oh man, it's gonna rain for the next couple days. I gotta get out here and cut this grass before it rains.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's a crazy man thing.
Yep. I don't know what it is with you with the grass.
Oh,
so nobody gonna see you spring, summer at all. It's a wrap. Don't call crews in the yard.
Oh man, and before my wife got me the riding lawnmower, it used to take me like 4 hours to cut the grass. Because she said, I can cut the grass. I mean, no, I don't need to. Now you don't want me to cut the grass because I ain't gonna make them lines like you be making them. I'm sorry.
I don't like to cut grass. I used to like to cut grass. I don't like to cut grass anymore. But I like to weed eat. I still like to weed eat today.
Do you?
I don't know what it is about the weed eat.
Well, come on over. I got
enough to weed eat. I don't need. I can't come to your house.
Come on over.
I got enough in my own house to weed eat. So yeah.
I'll even put the gas in there for you. You won't have to do nothing. I'll even start it for you and hand it to you.
Thank God for my cousin Nathan who cuts my grass for me, and he does a lot of weed eating. I keep telling him, let me know when he's coming.
Right.
And when he's cutting out weed eat. I never know when he's coming. I miss him every time. He's already cutting weed eat grass.
Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. But it's just the crazy thing that we do. But yeah, you don't stop. I can call here, and if I know I don't get to you somewhere in this building, moving something, doing something, rearranging something, or whatever. But again, you got your eye on the prize. You have a set of standards for your business, and that prize is up here, and you keep moving the bar up.
Right.
And I think that's what we have to do in life. We get to one plateau and we get complacent. And so again, you have to keep elevating, move the bar up. I am never satisfied with anything that I do.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Hey,
I know.
Miss Perfection. I know you know what they're talking. Yeah. But that's why we're kindred spirits, because we don't like to settle just for anything, and we'll talk about it. We wish we could have did this or did that.
We work a lot. We actually work a lot. I remember we were out one spring and we had an event here, and I think Nicole was on the back of the building. I was in the front of the building. We were parking. We were making sure cars were being parked properly.
Yeah.
And so somebody got out of the car. I don't know who the hell the lady was. She got out of the car and she was like, "Aren't you the owner?" I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Why are you out here parking cars?" I said, "Sweetheart, you'd be surprised what I do." I said, "You'd be surprised." I said, "Look, I can show you where they need to go." But she just couldn't believe I was out there parking, telling people where to go. I'm like, that's not a big deal.
They'll come in here and watch you run that vacuum.
Yeah.
Run the vacuum, sweep the floor out the.
I do a lot.
Yeah.
I'm on.
Go in the bathrooms, clean the bathroom. Last week we were in there plunging.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Oh,
somebody,
yeah.
I don't know what somebody did at an event, but somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a little bit of everything around here.
And you have to. When you have a business, you got to make sure you're taking care of you. Because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's going to appreciate your business
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
you do. And I heard you and my wife discussing a little bit today about that. You know, the meticulous way that you operate your business,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that
Yeah.
people have to appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I send you somewhere and I'm not there, I expect the same service that we give people here out in these streets if I send you out
Yeah.
under venue AK.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you won't be back ever. You just won't be back ever. That's just how that's gonna work.
And you're right, because when you're not here, and you ask me to oversee some things, it's a pattern for me to now like, what
Mm-hmm.
would she do? How would she do this? I've seen her
Mm-hmm.
do it enough. This
Mm-hmm.
is how she responds. Because again, this is your name out here. This is your business,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's not taken care of like that, then that's a reflection on you. They go like, "Oh, she had somebody there. He didn't know what he was doing. I ain't. I'm not gonna do business with her." It ain't the fact that she probably shouldn't hire him. No, it's gonna be square on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
hey, y'all call in again. Phone lines are open 804-767-0491. We got
I don't know what Tanya Johnson talking about. So yes, you do. What you talking about, Tanya?
yeah.
Tanya Johnson, what you talking about?
You can call in, Tanya Johnson, 804-767-0491. What does keeping your eye on the prize mean to you guys? What does that look like, in terms of what we're talking about tonight or just in general? A lot of stuff going on. I heard while we waiting on the phone call that some of y'all down there booing y'all governor yesterday.
What happened?
That man been doing some wild stuff too. He went down to no they had a no kings protest, and what they were talking about, of course, wanting him to not be so up Trump butt with everything. Every little thing that Trump do, uh he's singing and really want to mimic everything you're doing.
Mm.
So it's crazy. Good evening, caller. How you doing?
Doing great, man. It's nobody but the mouth of the South.
Oh,
Those with the most, Mr. Community.
the one that if he smell it, he gonna what?
If I smell it, I'm gonna tell it. I
That's
smell
funny.
something going on at AK. I'm trying to figure out if AK stands for Ancient Knight or does it stand for Armstrong Kennedy?
I'm done. I'm done.
I have a brother that graduated from AK. And, it was a pretty good school when they went back in the days and they decided to combine these schools back in the days. And when Kennedy was operating on his own, and Armstrong was, we used to battle back in the 70s called the King of the Hill,
Wow.
the Church Hill. And then
Okay.
when they combined the schools, we called it AK.
Oh wow.
You got some history, AK.
Yeah. Well, I'm not originally from here. I don't know any. I don't know any history of these schools, other than a few of the class reunions that come here,
Uh-huh.
and I hear a little bit because like Huguenot with and somebody else they combine their class reunion.
This fellow on this floor, no, on this
Yeah,
phone.
Huguenot with and somebody.
It was JHW,
Yes.
John Martin Huguenot Will.
Yes.
That's still a large gathering, from my understanding too, in terms of their reunions. Is that correct?
I just tease. I know what AK stands for. If anybody, if you've been over there, because it ain't just AK, it's AKB.
Got that right.
Well, this is so silly.
Interesting conversation. You said, what was the question of the night?
The question tonight is keeping your eye on the prize.
Mhm.
What does that mean in your household? What does that mean for you in 2025?
Well, first of all, you got to find out what the prize is,
Mm.
so you can keep the eye on it. So the prize may be different prizes for different people.
Right.
You know, for me, a personal goal or a personal prize would be one is to be married. That's one.
All right.
The other is the other would be if my life living would be in vain. And a lot of folks may not know what that really means, but the two prime examples is the work that you all do. You all could be at home on a Tuesday night enjoying yourself, watching a movie or TV, but you're here providing an opportunity for the community to have a voice that many folks don't have that opportunity. So again, that's a prize right there, because I noticed that you all's focus have always been to provide an opportunity on a consistent basis. One of the reasons why I was able to call in, because I knew that on this particular time and this particular night that you all was going to be on, and this is an opportunity to speak on it. So, that's one thing. The other is the fact that in Richmond alone, I believe the prize in Richmond, for Richmond, Virginia, is the fact that people can sustain life in living. And that's been interesting how different people view it, because we went from talking about two Richmonds to all white council, all black council, all black mayor, all white mayor. We've been through so many different things. Republicans, Democrats, independents. We've been through folks that wanted the casino, and some folks wanted the entertainment venue. Some folks want to see the amphitheater built, which is being built now, that Richmond will pretty much have no control over. And some folks want to see the Diamond District built, which again, Richmond will have very little control over it, but it's going to be built in Richmond.
Right.
So there are different prizes of the eye that different people are looking at. For myself, there's a movement in the 8th district that I think we really need to be very careful about, because in the city of Richmond, so much has been built all over that they have nowhere else to go. And often people say, well, they left Southside out, they left Southside out. They didn't leave Southside out. It's just the fact that they built up everywhere else that they wanted to build up first. That now they have nowhere else to go but in Southside. And that major part of Southside where a lot of development can happen and is happening is in the 8th district under the leadership or under the council leadership of Councilwoman Reba Trample. However, keeping my eye on that particular prize because there's so much going on. So that's what I've been keeping my eye on. A watchful eye on people that come in to want to make a movement change in the district, but have no investment in the district no more than to take $1, rob, and then run back out. So that's fine. I'm grateful that AK venue is located in the 8th district. That's a venue hall that's in the 8th district.
Right.
We don't have venue halls in the 8th district with class. And I'm not saying it because most of you all are sitting in the venue hall, but it is. You go back, you come back, your location, and it is a place of class. And that's what Richmond is needed. And what happened, I was over there this past about a week ago, and I saw one part of the venue was catering to Afro Americans, and I saw another part of the venue that had Hispanics. So that's an eye, and that's a prize, and that's a watch for eye. That's what I see.
Before you go anywhere, Wilson, we have this conversation all the time because we were talking about a prize of being, of getting a house. Now, there's a conversation, there's a twist on this word. There's affordable housing and housing that's affordable. Break that down for me, because again, a lot of people talk about affordable housing, but that is different from a house that is affordable. Go ahead, my brother. Take that one and run with it, because again, we want people to stay focused. We want people to get laser focused, and you can't get laser focused like you said, until you know what the prize is. And if there's a sleight of hands, you could be looking to set up or try to obtain the wrong prize.
Mhm.
You got the floor, my brother.
Okay.
He didn't put you on the
One
spot.
one of the things is
That's his favorite subject.
exactly correct. That we use that term that so many people know called affordable housing. But there is no affordable housing. We need housing that's affordable. And that's number one. You said it. So you must have smelled it also. I smell it on the belly. That's number one. Number two is in Richmond alone, even tomorrow, Councilwoman Lynch and some others are having a meeting over at the Diversity Thrift that starts at 3 o'clock. And they're going to be talking about the operation of the continuing of care. And the continuing of care, a lot of people don't understand. That's where it's like the point of entry for a lot of the housing and stable housing and homeless folks and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Now, I didn't know until one day I was in a meeting that they even changed the language of homeless. They don't even use the word homeless no more. They say unhoused.
Right.
You can dress it up, like they said back in the day. If it look like a pig, walk like a pig, quack, walk like a pig, and eat like a pig, it's a pig. So I don't care how you dress it up. The people are homeless. You're talking about some unhoused. No, they homeless.
Mhm.
And we need to treat it like such. But people don't want to use that kind of dramatic word. But those dramatic words help educate us in life. Back in the day when mama said, I'm going to tear your hot pots up. And then there are some that say, I'm going to whip your
ass.
To tighten up when you heard, I'm going to whip your
Ass.
versus I'm going to tear your hot pot.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's those kind of things. So people are playing it. They're playing games.
Mhm.
And those games are becoming very expensive in Richmond. They're becoming very expensive. A prime example of how that took place was that with the emissions tax situation, with the meals tax situation that happened with the restaurants, they thought it was okay to pick with a few black-owned restaurants, but then when they started picking with all restaurants, and some of those white-owned restaurants got affected behind the meals tax, everybody joined in. Then they said, we got a serious problem. So if it takes that to bring awareness to it, that's where we are. The affordable housing, you got to have housing. If a person don't have housing, if you don't have stable housing, you pretty much are out there. You pretty much are left with nothing. And Richmond, what bothers me in Virginia is that the Virginia legislators have not saw enough fit to push regulations that would put a cap on how landlords can go viciously after me. I'm not against landlords because if I own property, if you are at your own properties, then I want you to be able to do what you have to do as a property owner. But when you, for example, the Afton apartments over on Afton in the 8th district, and part in the 6th, that apartment complex was bought by a new developer. Now, the residents over there have been there 10, 12, 15 years, have been paying $500, $600, and stuff like that. When the new developers bought the apartment, they took the rent up to $1,200 across the board. And the people couldn't afford it. So you started telling people they had to get out. And I realized it because one day I was riding through and saw people. I saw 4 or 5 moving trucks. I said, what's going on? And I started asking, and the residents said that the new owners came in and told them they had to leave. So they couldn't afford. So again, is it affordable housing or housing that's affordable? We have to build, and where I see it at, this is where I've been able to work along and see what was it when you say you see light at the end of the tunnel?
Right.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Exactly.
When John Gregory John Gregory and the developers from Winks decided to build and buy Oak Grove and build apartments and build houses. I went to them in the beginning before they even made the vote and said to him, I would support you if you make housing that's affordable. And what I mean by that, I know you guys go with the early medium income, but the early medium income does not meet for Richmond. If the early medium income in Richmond is not at a percentage of 30% or less or 40% or less, where the apartments would be somewhere around $800 or $900, then you're not building affordable. And John Gregory looked at me, didn't know who I was, and he said, well, that's a possibility, Mr. Willis, so we can get the grants to do that. So instead of me pointing fingers at him, which now you see that development being built, I sit there at the table to work with him to make sure that we did have housing that's affordable and not affordable housing. Now, let me tell you about the table, I'm going to shut up. If you ain't at the table, you're on the menu.
All right. You better say that one. Better say that one again.
If you're not at the table, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And anything on the menu gets eaten up. So you got to make sure you are sitting at the table if you care enough to bring that idea to fruition. So I care enough, but not only myself, but others, that I made sure that I was sitting at the table in the beginning instead of being on the menu, because you ain't going to eat me up.
All right, then, my brother.
You're not going to do that. So that's happening with the Oak Grove development. It's happening with a couple of other developments, and even folks don't know, but right now, over in Mosley Court, Mosley South, which is directly across the street from MLK Middle School, a developer has bought that section of Mosley and is about to tear them down. And all of those people right now are going through a relocation process.
Wow.
And we don't know if any of those residents can afford to come back, because when they fill them up, because nobody's sitting at the table demanding that they build housing that's affordable. You got to catch them at the table.
That's
so
true.
You won't be on the menu.
All right.
Appreciate you, Brother Willis. Again, always glad to hear it, man. And we have some serious conversations and looking to have you in the studio one night. So we're going to get that on your planner soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Angie. It is wonderful to see you and hear from you. Of course, keep up. Every time I see you, all I can think about is my two good friends. God bless his soul as he rests in peace. And then my other great friend, I call him King G.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for doing what y'all do. Keep up the good work and keep that platform going where people can have a voice just like you. Afforded me that opportunity tonight. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
God bless you too. Appreciate it. Again, a lot of good points, and people say, well, y'all talking about keeping your eye on the prize. Again, you got to know what the prize is to keep your eye on it. There are a lot of things going on in Richmond. People are not aware of it, and again, I like what Malcolm X says when white people get a cold, we get pneumonia. And that's because we are not properly prepared. So if something happens that's bad for them, it's worse for us. So that's what that's what he meant by that analogy. So, I think tonight, we have to talk about looking differently at things. Somebody said the other day that while we learning new line dances, that the world is falling apart, and we can get our boots on the ground, we can do that dance back forth and everything else, but at the end of the day, and what's so sad about this, I think prayers out to the people that were injured in this shooting at one of the trail rides. That again, we lost focus here. something that should have been enjoyable,
Yep.
something that we could get to as a go to as a culture and enjoy ourselves. Now it's become a thing of trash.
Yeah.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know what's wrong with that.
I saw I said, what's wrong with your people? But
Your cousin.
serious man.
We already have talked about there, like they're just really drinking a different kind of water these days. You go out in these streets, you just don't know what to what to what. You just don't know,
You don't.
You just don't know.
Yeah. And I'm not being funny, but again, it's like when I'm out, I really can't relax like I want to. You know how we used to go and not a care in the world, just dance, party, laugh, hee haw, and all that. But now you still want to do that, but you still, if somebody coming in looking a little strange.
Yeah. You're just careful and cautious, especially when I go to outdoor events.
Mm-hmm.
I never sit in my lawn chair in the middle of a crowd.
Okay.
I sit in my lawn chair on the end. I'm
Right.
always on the end because I'm not getting trampled.
Right.
I need to be able to get out. So I pay attention to a lot of stuff now. I go in places that I've never been. I always want to know where the exit door is. I'm out at night. I'm always, parking my car under a light, and I'm not out at night much. But if I got to run somewhere, it's just a different kind of water now. So you just got to be cautious. And not that you're walking around scared and fear. It's just that just be cautious and be mindful.
Yeah.
And just watch your surroundings.
My brothers, I got to throw y'all up under the bus for a minute because I'm seeing some really non-man type behavior. One is in that same. I was watching that video when they started shooting. Everybody was running, like you said, and several women fell. And I saw this Negro. I can't call him a man. I saw this Negro actually jump over the woman, step on her to run off, rather than stopping to help the woman up. See, she had fallen, and he was still about maybe from where the shooting occurred. He was at least about a block away, but yet, yeah, he run straight over the woman, her and her friends. And I'm seeing dudes now, women are holding doors open for dudes. They walking on in there, ain't saying thank you, won't say, oh, I got it or nothing. Come on, what is wrong? I have to start to question what is wrong with our fellows. Where is our head at in terms of the things that we do? We don't have respect for women. Some of these, somebody's gonna get mad at me. I don't care. You can get it my D if you want to. About about the hip hop. I think again we had hip hop and then we went to rap. And I think personally when we got to rap and it started changing how we talk about women, how we treat women, how we degrade women, that's when we went downhill. And some of y'all are gonna go to hell with gasoline draws on because of the stuff that we allow to go on and the stuff that we do. We had to get a little shenanigans in tonight, but that's shenanigans with truth.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys just not being genuine.
Right.
And I don't know if you just ain't been taught or you don't care. But women, all I'm saying is know your worth because they open their door. Why are you walking into whatever restaurant and his ass is about 10 steps behind you and you opening your door? I'm not touching nothing.
Holding the door for him.
Absolutely.
It's one thing you walk up the door and I'm like, oh, let me grab this. But these sisters are sitting there holding the door and they trifling, but with your pants hanging down, showing a little streaky draws. First of all, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up. Nobody wants to see your drawers. There's nothing manly about that.
And there's some women that okay with these guys not doing nothing for them.
Right.
And I don't know why y'all okay with it, but if that's how you run in your house and your relationship, more power to you. But you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's just wrong to me.
And we creating a generation that's coming behind this behavior and repeating it.
You got kids. What you teaching them?
Right.
Like
Exactly.
that mess is okay.
Yep.
This is how you supposed to treat another, a woman. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was talking. We got this little group. We talk all night, and so one is she's a administrator in the school system, and she was talking about the behavior of the kids in school, and she went live talking about this, and the fact that there are a lot of parents, excuse me, that are not teaching their kids at home, and they come in with this wild behavior at school.
Right.
Swinging on the bathroom doors.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
breaking water fountains, and
Mhm.
it's all kind of destructive behavior. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what type of society we're gonna have later on, but Jesus,
I know, right?
yeah.
My girlfriend Wanda, who is me creations, who does a lot of my embroidery stuff, and she was coming to the law firm to drop off some stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I just happened to be walking down the hall when her and her husband pulled up. And so, you have to buzz in to come into the law firm. So I waited, and I know he parked. She never got out the car.
Mm-hmm.
He got out of the car, onto her side, and opened that door. I don't care where I see those two. Those two are consistent. He is consistent when it comes to his wife and how he treats his wife. I've never seen anything like it. He's so consistent, and you can tell the love that they have is just amazing to see.
Right.
And it's been that way from the time we were all going to Tabernacle together to this day.
See.
His pattern has been, how he treats his wife has never changed. I don't care where I see him. It is the same thing. The same thing.
And that should be a prize for us to see couples that,
you don't see it.
Right.
You just don't see it.
Positive, doing things that, used to be the main goal, and now it's not. So kudos to him. Shout out to her. And on that same vein, ladies, if you got a man that's trying to be a man, let him be a man.
Yeah.
If he wants to open the door for you, allow that. There's certain things again that you can set a pattern for, and you need to make sure that you, as you just indicated, know your worth. Make that scoundrel book over that door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the other thing I see a lot, and I don't know if this is right or wrong.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what's not gonna happen over here, right? In no relationship that I'm in, maybe that's why I ain't got one, right? But I'm being trouble for that.
Move right along. Yeah, we'll catch that one. Y'all catch that one next week. But go ahead with the story.
Oh, shit. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
But you were about to say you don't know about if you're right or wrong.
I know. I'm going with it.
I know where you went. I don't know where you were going.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think we must sign out right. It might be a phone call or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I think let me get my thoughts together.
All right. I'm not gonna look at you right now.
But anyway.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna need a bowl rug after this.
I'm gonna look at the camera.
But I've seen this out here in these streets.
Okay.
And I've been around a lot of couples, right?
Right.
And even when I was married to even now, I'm dating somebody, not dating somebody, whatever the freaking case may be, and I see these married couples and they're out. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
When it's time to pay the check, I don't care if I'm married to you and I say, babe, I got the check. I think that's okay to me.
Right.
What I don't think is going to be okay is I pay my own check and you pay your own check. That's a whole freaking problem for me.
Yeah.
That's a whole freaking problem for me. That shit ain't happening.
Right.
So now we going Dutch. I'm out here with my husband. I'm going Dutch. What
That's a whole different
I
level.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But I think if I'm out with my boo and I'm like that, yeah, I got lunch.
Right.
I think that's okay. I just do.
Yep.
But I be damn. If I'm gonna sit and pay my check and then you gonna sit and pay your check.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Somebody else commented and tell me if I'm right or wrong on this
Yeah.
one. I don't know what your thought is on that, but that's not freaking happening.
No, because
That's
you're
not
right. I sometimes I be trying to pay for my stuff, and like Cherry, she said, put yourself up there,
Mhm.
or the reverse. I'll do the same thing. She been picked out some things. I'm in the line or whatever,
Mhm.
and the lady checking my stuff. I said, go ahead and do all
Right.
that.
Right. And I've been around you guys, long enough to know you do all that all the time. That's just been you around your wife. I've seen that. And I know you take care of a lot of stuff and it's just you paying. But that's just your nature. There ain't a whole lot of yous out there. You know what I'm saying? So if your wife wants to do something, yeah, it's okay. But
Yeah.
that, like, I'm going to pay for this and then you go, no, we up in the store together. I've been damn.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. I don't know.
I guess it goes back to what you said. If that works in your house,
Well, it ain't working over here in my house.
Right.
That's not working. Mm-mm.
That's the damnedest thing, though.
What?
A situation like that. We go to Burger King. You get your Whopper. I get my Whopper. I pay for my Whopper. You pay for your Whopper.
Yeah. I'm confused.
Yeah. It ain't like I'm short. I got the money. It ain't like you short. You got the money. But why not? I don't know, man.
Somebody told me to get my thoughts together. All right. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, I know I look like a deer in headlights.
You didn't make it any better, first of all. Somebody said, yes, you're right. I see that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Somebody need to help me understand why it's happening. It's got to be a guy that can call in or send us a message and let me know, educate me on why you allowing your girlfriend or your husband or your wife to pay separately. Right. I just want to know why.
We'll stay
I'm actually curious. I just want to know why that happened.
The phone is open 804-767. In fact, let me do this. Put the phone number up here so you all can see it. We'll run that for a few minutes.
Somebody answer that question.
Yep.
Because maybe y'all have an explanation that makes sense. That mess ain't making sense over here to me right now at all. It's not.
We got time. 804-767-04. I got the right number up there.
I wish I would be sitting at the table and tell daggone freaking the waitress bring 2 checks. I'd be damn. That's just no. That's not happening.
Let's see.
That's not happening.
767-0491. 767-0491. What do you all think about that? Have we gone too far left with a lot of the things that we're doing, even in our relationship?
Be quiet, time. Be quiet, time. Oh my God.
It's
Yeah, well, somebody need to answer that question because it happens. I just want to know why it happens and what is going through a man's mind, and he thinks that's okay.
Normally I can answer your questions or put at least 2 cents in it. I can't put a half a penny in it.
So you really don't know why the guy would do that?
I have no idea. I don't. I would normally I try to spin this and try to put something to it to make it make sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can't make it make sense tonight. I'm being sincere. I don't know. I would actually need that person here to say, okay, or whoever's doing that, what was the logic behind that?
Right. Right.
What is the logic?
I dated the guy. I dated the guy for 3 years, and we were it was a bunch of us out. But then I think it was me, Lisa, Jackie. We were all out for dinner, And then the check came, and he said one check. That's what he said.
Right.
You just don't see that a lot, because he could have easily said, we're all out because everybody needs to eat.
Right.
But he wasn't obligated to Jackie or Lisa.
Right.
But as a man sitting at that table with those women, he took care of the check. He paid for everybody. But those are the type guys that I hang out with. I'm just trying to understand these other type guys that some of these women hanging out with, and I just want to know why. And I'm not saying that guy needs to pay every time they took your sisters and your friends out. I'm not saying that, but that's just the type guy that I have rolled up on, is all I'm saying.
Right. And I think anybody that, at first I thought you were talking about me, but we hadn't dated. So, again, not bragging, but it was for me, that was a natural thing to do that night that we went out. Okay, all is left here. We're going out to eat. And I had the means, because you and I switch up all the time doing that. I'm like, okay, God has blessed me, because I've had people do that for me as well in my life. Say, okay, I got it, and it'd be several of us there. So I appreciate that, and that's all it is. It's kind of like paying it forward. If you want to receive a blessing, you have to be a blessing as well.
Yeah.
So
absolutely,
a lot of people out here cutting off their blessings because of the things that they are doing or not doing.
And I see you do that a lot when a bunch of us is out. You do that a lot. And I know one day, Cruz and I, we was at Old Charlie, and we had a whole fight. It was like a whole fight at the table. It was a whole fight. And it's like, of course, I won that fight, of course. Let me just tell you, I won that fight.
Yeah,
he didn't want me to win the fight.
No, I was really
But that waitress, when I looked at that waitress and how I looked at that waitress, said, bring me that check.
Yep.
And I'm like, bring me the check. And she was like, she didn't know what to do. She was frantic. And she really didn't know what to do. And Cruz on the other end, like, bring me the check.
Right.
And then I think my octave went up another octave. My voice went up another octave when I looked at her and I said, look, let me tell you something. Bring me the freaking check.
Yep.
Right. And she was like,
she said, I'd rather I'd rather listen to her.
Yeah, when I leaned over.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was all, fight was over then. I
Fight
lost,
was over
I
at that
lost
point.
that battle. But again, it's nothing wrong, fellas, with being we call it chivalry. Having doing things to appreciate the women that we're with, and then to demonstrate and set the example for other men. Maybe somebody else might see that and say, "Oh man, I want to be in a position to do that one day." Or let me do that, because that was so cool.
Right.
It is nothing wrong with being a real man. Let me put it like that at all. And you guys gotta step up to the plate. I get on my son. If I see him doing something that's out of character, no, don't do that.
Right.
Don't.
Tanya says sometimes they may not have seen that type of upbringing with their parents or whoever raised them.
Mm-hmm.
So they may have seen them do separate things. It could be several reasons for a man not to do that. Okay.
I mean, that's we are to piggyback
True
on
statement.
Yeah, we are products of our teaching.
Yeah. A true statement, or his ass just cheap and don't want to pay. Okay.
It's a reason, whatever that reason is.
Or your ass just being cheap. But I understand what she's saying.
Right.
And it may be the upbringing. And maybe that guy didn't think nothing of it. But he needs to think something of it.
Right.
And that wife needs to say something. Because that would have, you see what happened to me? It would have been a long ride home. Because I was not going to embarrass him or say anything in front of anybody.
Right.
But when I got in that car, try that one more time. Try that again.
See, when y'all get that head bobbing and stuff going
Try that
on,
again. Don't let that happen no more.
I can hear you now.
But knowing me, I would have said, his checkbook. That check would have went right on over there. What he gonna do? Not pay check?
And would it be slid
We're not
back to
doing
you?
that. He won't do that.
But what else?
It's going back. Because if I paid that check, because if he was adamant about it, and I paid, this is gonna be the longest ride home ever. Because I'm not gonna understand that. I don't understand that.
Y'all hear this now. If you with her, You
Oh, they know.
better
They know.
well, okay, let me flip that to this right here real quick before we leave. We got a few more minutes before we have to leave the air. Uh, why are women accepting a lot of this uh, abnormal
That's
behavior?
what I want to know. Because
Yeah.
somebody explained to me. But Tanya got a point. She got a point about the whole upbringing. But okay, so you sometimes have to teach somebody how you want to be treated.
Right.
You have to teach them this. So don't accept that crap, is what I'm saying. Along with a whole lot of other stuff that I could name. It's another whole show. It's a lot of things that we cannot accept in a relationship, and we have to teach somebody how we want to be treated. And in both ways, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. I agree. And you're right, because there's some men that allow things to go on and they're miserable and,
Mhm.
and then they start looking at other women trying to find something in that other woman that they're missing at home. And not, like I said, not saying it's right, but again, if you're going to go looking for that thing outside your home, why not spend the energy talking to your significant other and say, sweet, can we sit down for a minute and talk about something? There's something really bothering me. This is not something I'm bringing up to start an argument or fight. I really want to be able to say, openly what's going on. I am not on the same page with how I'm being treated by you or how you doing this, that, and the third. Is it something I'm doing to make you do that to me, or is there something in your background, or you had a bad experience, or what? And sometimes, like I said, some people don't know they're doing it. It's just that it's kind of like second nature to them.
Yeah.
And until you bring that to them, to their attention, they'll keep on doing it. Yeah. So we got to learn to modify and change what I call abnormal behavior.
Yeah.
We can't continue to accept things that are. I know somebody gonna say, "Well, what's normal to you may not be normal to me." Now, there's some things that are standard that would be considered abnormal.
Yeah. And to me, there should be some things across the board that should not, be here. It needs to stay across the board.
Right.
On how a man should treat a woman. And it's like it ain't no bending no rule. It's no bending how certain things should be done in your life and how you should be treated. Don't bend those rules.
Right.
There's no grace when it comes to that to me. I'm not giving you no grace, because once you start giving grace and you give grace again, that pattern is going to continue to happen, and you're going to be still stuck on stupid and letting them do the stupid stuff to you.
Yep. And some of us,
so you correct this off the bat.
If we see that you're giving us a lot of wiggle room, we're gonna keep on wiggling.
Keep on wiggling.
Wiggle,
And it's just going to get worse. Things are just going to get worse. It's not going to be just check or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna push the envelope and say, okay, well, I got away with that. Let me see if I can get away with this.
Yeah, and if we can't afford to go out and eat, then we ain't going. If one or the other can't pay for it, we ain't go. We just not going.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe I have never dated I've just never been in that position. But I just know people that have been, and I just kind of want to know why. But Tanya, kind of summed it up a little bit.
Okay. You got any other comments before we close?
But Glass did say you can learn by watching others. True.
Yeah.
True statement.
A lot of my transformation came by watching other stable men, how they treated their wives, how they interacted with their wives. What was their prize? What was some of the things that they wanted to accomplish and wanted to make sure. And so, and that was for me important, especially going into my second marriage, about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with it. You can't learn something if you don't see something.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important for men and women. We got to start teaching our younger generation. And here's something else too. So if you're in a relationship, marriage or whatever, it's okay for your children to see you all being affectionate. I didn't say raunchy. I said being affectionate toward one another, because sooner or later, if you have a boy, or whatever, young man, he needs to see his dad hug his mom.
Yeah.
See his dad being nice to his mom, instead of that rah rah, always mad, always got an
Mhm,
attitude type of thing.
Right.
Because chances are that little boy will grow up thinking, well, this is the way it should be because this is the way my dad did. And the reverse of that. If you have daughters, you teach your daughters how to, treat a man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
My mother did everything for my dad. I mean, there was not he didn't miss a meal. He didn't do this. He did well. Some stuff I did not. I ain't do no damn cooking in my marriage. Didn't happen. He ain't miss a meal, but I ain't do no cooking. So I saw all of this. So it's not like I didn't know.
right.
It was just some stuff.
You just took a different avenue.
Yeah, he ain't missed a meal though. I just went another route. But that whole upbringing, Tanya got a point. Tanya got a point on that.
Right.
So, hey.
Well, y'all come back next
But
week.
let me say this before we go because
Okay.
I want to clarify some things because I know somebody gonna hit my DM and saying, you can't expect the guy to always pay, and I did clear that up.
Right.
But do you remember seeing on TikTok? It was everywhere. This one video was out where I think a young lady had about 6 or 7 girlfriends with her, and I think it was like they were getting married, and the bachelorette party,
Uh-huh.
and they was all out eating dinner. The fiance shows up to make sure that his girl was taken care of because I don't think he wanted her to pay the check,
Right.
pay her check. And the fiance got pissed off because she felt as though that he should have taken care of all the girlfriends. That to me is a no. Because my thing is if he came to make sure my fiance is good,
Right.
I don't think it was his obligation to take care of the other 6 or 7 girls. I just don't. In that situation, I just don't.
Yeah, I agree. She should have been mad at him.
Oh, she was hot.
Like,
why are you not paying for my friend?
Right.
They out celebrating you. They should have came out celebrating with some dang on money in their pocket.
Right.
So he had a point.
Yeah. Again, that was kind of presumptuous of her to think that he is obligated to.
Yeah.
They could have had. Each of them could have had $100 bill, and so when he's going to pay $800 for their meal, no, I don't think so. I told you, I tell you what, I'll see you at the car or whatever. Your check paid for your sister girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if there had been an agreement where
Right.
I sent all you all out there, and
Right.
I said, okay, y'all go ahead on your own and go out, and I'll take care of the check. That's something we talked about that.
Right.
So then,
But at that point, I would have sent the credit card with you. There's no reason for me to show up.
True. That's true.
I showed up to make sure my girl was good.
Right. And that was the end of his responsibility.
That was the end of his responsibility.
And if she had an attitude, guess what? Marriage off. Because that's a red flag.
You gonna call the marriage off?
Yep. That's a red flag. That's a serious red flag.
It's a flag. Definitely a red flag.
No, because she gonna get mad at me because I didn't want to take care of them.
Yeah.
And they ain't my problem.
Right.
So if you're gonna get an attitude about that, if we get to something a little bit more serious, you probably lose your mind. Now. So I'm looking at down the road is that we can't even get past this little point here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And all the girlfriends were to me was wrong because they could have said, "Look, we got it. We got you."
Right. So
they ain't said nothing.
Word.
They ain't say a word.
Oh, see,
they just like, shoot, okay, we don't have to pay the check, then I don't have to pay the check.
Yep. See.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see them the girlfriends to be talking in her ear, having her do all kind of wild stuff that ain't right. So yep, I'll tell you what, I'm taking my tuxedo back. You can call y'all what you can call this is a separation part that y'all have right now. We about to separate ourselves. I'm going on and that little meal I brought for you, call that the last supper.
I don't know if you need to call the wedding off, but there's a serious conversation need to be had before somebody walk down a freaking aisle. Like, don't try this mess no more. Yeah, that mess is not even cool.
I guess.
But if she is adamant about that he was just wrong, then yeah, I probably would have to back off.
Yeah, and that was the part for me, that she's adamant about. She won't let it go.
Yeah.
I can understand you might have been a little disappointed. Okay, get over it. But if you still hammering me, nagging me, I done went home, you know, text me, telling me you know you were wrong, then sent me 30 paragraphs talking about how I was wrong. Oh, sister girl. Nope. In fact, I'm about to turn my phone off. Again, I'm not taking another text about this foolishness, this shenanigans. In fact, I may come back there and say, look, can you reverse it off my credit card? Take her bill off my credit card too. Now what you gonna do? Nail it. Oh man. So,
Okay, Gladys said, I know someone who paid a $600 plus bill and the woman asked for the money back a few days later.
what?
What you mean?
Who's your ass back?
I know someone who paid a 600 plus bill
Oh, you
and the
know,
woman asked for the money back a few days later.
she probably again was out with somebody. She paid the check and then wanted her money back. Well, guess what? If we ain't talked about that, you know, I'm sorry, sister, you ain't get no money back.
Why she asked for her money back?
I've seen heard of an instance where it was, the person said, "Oh, I got the check," and then start calling everybody, texting everybody, said, "All right, I paid the check. Your part was this. Your part was that." If y'all didn't discuss that at that table, and we done got up and left, and I done burped, and I'm at home now.
What does that?
It's some people
Don't
out
pay the
here.
check.
Yeah, exactly.
And that thing separate before you roll out.
Yep, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Have an understanding.
Mm.
But yeah, that's kind of trifling. You gonna text me talking about, hey, I paid the check your part, $56.32 plus gratuity.
Yeah.
I sent you that money and said, you know what, God bless you as you go. 'Cause our friendship about to be over.
She said, Cruz, you know who it is.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You know, somebody paid a 600 plus bill and the woman asked for the money back a
Yeah.
few days.
Oh
later.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I know that story sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, that was jacked up. That was jacked
So
up.
that person asked for the money back from the people that was at the table?
Yeah. And see, the person, in fact, that person didn't even pay the bill. It was somebody else that was related to that person that paid the bill. If I remember the story right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, so why that person asked for the money back? 'Cause they weren't the one that paid the check. Or were they was no.
Maybe they want
No, they weren't the one that paid the check. It was somebody else paid the check. And the other person wanted the money back. It was asking everybody to put the money back. Yep. Ask me if I'm right about that one. If I'm right about that one.
It was her boyfriend that paid
Yep.
because he wanted to. The
Exactly.
woman even called her job.
Yep.
What the hell? So y'all get details of the story without calling for me.
All right. We went out, it was a celebration. And so it was about, I guess, 10 of us, at least 5 couples or so.
Okay.
And so everybody was preparing to, pay their own thing. And so the gentleman said, I got it. And he, took care of it. And again, his girlfriend at that time, I guess started having some problems that he paid the entire check.
Okay.
And
Was
so,
the girlfriend there that night?
yeah, she was there.
Okay.
And at the time, she didn't say nothing when he said he got it.
Okay.
She didn't do this,
Right.
kick him up under the thing, or
Right.
hunt him and say, can we go to the bathroom or something? He went on paid the check, and I'd be damned if you're right. Started getting phone calls and stuff about, I think y'all ought to give him his money back. I think you need to shut the fuck up. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't gonna cuss no more.
Not that word. It's a family show. No, as much as I be cussing, I don't use those words though.
Yeah, y'all done made me slip up on one. I was doing good for 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was ignorance. that's the name we gonna. Her name was Miss Ignorance.
So she was mad that her boo paid this check And she was calling people for the money back.
Yep.
Did anybody pay
I know. I don't think we did. Like,
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the key is, I don't think he knew that she was asking for the money back. I think she probably gonna swindle him and get the money back from everybody. Keep the money. That was my impression of why that was being done.
Wow.
I don't even know if there was a
Well,
conversation.
that's a first.
Yeah.
First I've heard of that.
Yep. That was wild. Yeah, that was a wild one right there. When that person told me about that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And,
That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
next time don't offer pay check.
Right.
Everybody at the table. Oh.
Yeah. Everybody reaching for their own, reaching for their
Yeah.
wallet. Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't know it was a 600 plus bill.
Yeah. It was 600 because I think ours alone was like, it may have been more than 600 because our bill between my wife and I was every bit of 125.
Mm.
And so, we can get ready to pay that. So I know it had to be a little bit more because people eat some expensive stuff. Because everybody thought, well, okay.
Okay, so when that person said, "I'll pay the check," did anybody else at the table say, "Man, let me help"?
We offered. He said, "No, don't worry about it. I got it." And so everybody like slow back down, like, okay, all right. I ain't gonna argue with you. Not too many times, I'll say, "Are you sure?" I'll say, "Are you sure?" twice. In fact, I think all of us said that. Are you sure?
Okay.
Several times. He was like, "I told y'all, I got this."
Okay.
So it was done deal then.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You get two. Are you sure? You ain't gonna get a third. Are you sure?
You gonna get another.
Yeah.
You gonna get another.
Now go get another one.
Now go get another one, huh?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that was it. Yep. I'm
I
surprised
wonder how that person felt calling you after the fact, saying, "What she do? Look at the damn bill and say you ate this much and proves your family owes $125. How the hell she actually want money back with any dignity behind that? Like,
Yep.
how do you call somebody?
And I think she only called the family members because I don't know if she had the number to the other guests that were friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, call the family. Gonna tell the family, need the money back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would probably have been weak if I got a phone call and I was sitting there like, "Look, your husband said he had the check.
Right.
What is the problem?"
Exactly. I think that's the message that lady gave her. Was like, what's the problem?
What's the problem?
Right, exactly. There's no way in the world I'd have did that. If I had found out about it as a chair, don't do that. We paid for it. If it put us back a few pennies, then that's on me because I was playing big shot that night. So I'll make it. I'll make up for it. But we ain't about to ask nobody for their money back.
Trey wouldn't do that.
We ain't doing that.
Yeah. And this lady right here, I don't know what lesson was learned from that, but she probably looked real ignorant doing that.
It was
coming back after people for it anyway.
I tell you, her family looked at her a little strange. I don't know about everybody else at the table.
I have to pay for this check, and I need this from you. I need this from you.
Yeah, but
and she did this like the next day.
Yep. I think it's the next day.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. If not that later on that night or something, the text started coming. Like, what? Where did this come from? Yep. All right, y'all. Keep your eyes on the prize. She lost the prize. She
did say, well, she said if you talk to my man about it, there's going to be a problem.
See?
So yeah, she didn't even want any of you guys in the group to even go back to the husband and say, look.
Right.
Oh yeah, she was trying to get this money back in her pocket.
Exactly. That was gonna be money for her.
That is crazy.
Because I'm sure, like you said, he thought twice about that, at all. So yeah, some more of that shenanigans.
That's hilarious. Well, that made my night.
Oh no, what's gonna make your night is that slip up that you had earlier.
I didn't have no slip up.
Yeah, you did.
Leave it alone, please, sir.
Okay, I'll leave it alone. But
I
you,
have
you
no
know we're
kind
gonna
of
talk
clue
about that off camera, right? Soon as this show ends, I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all might not remember what was said, and I'm not gonna remind
Okay.
y'all, but we're gonna have a long conversation. Did Clap you said I'm gonna have to have a long talk with that girl.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
No need for no long conversation today.
Okay. Plausible denial. Huh?
I don't think I said anything sideways.
Okay. And on that note, cue the music because it's time to go now. Cue the music. Any last thoughts on the way out of here?
No, because you thinking I'm in trouble.
Am I'm thinking or do I know? there's a difference. There's a affordable housing and there's housing that's affordable. Do I think you're in trouble or do I know you're in trouble?
Oh, Lord.
I'm thinking I'm on the side of I know.
You think so? You know I'm in trouble.
I know you're
I'm
in
not
trouble. All right, all right. If
The
this,
method to the man.
if this chair is empty over here next week,
Somebody call this and they need to be a special guest. We get another
yeah.
special guest.
If I said, unfortunately, we had to have a guest speaker tonight. I mean, guest host. Yeah, indeed. So, y'all have a great night. It's been fun. We've had some serious conversations. Appreciate the comments. Big Will, thank you for always being here with us. Thank you for all the calls and comments and everything. You guys have a wonderful rest of the week. And as I always say, whatever comes from the heart reaches the heart. Let somebody know how much you care about them before it's everlasting too late. God bless you. Peace.
And we will see y'all next week on Let's Talk Tuesday. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sheriff Irving. She was online. She's running.
Okay.
So let's get her back
Yes.
over there. It's my girl.
Absolutely. And
that's my vote.
This Saturday she's having a pancake breakfast. Also, I wish she had called in. I wish I'd known she was online to talk about the pancake brunch that's happening at Applebee's from 8 to 10. So this upcoming Saturday.
Oh wow.
So you all let her know that I did plug that from 8 to 10 at the Applebee's Moorfield location right here.
All right. So what is it about? So
basically they're gonna have some female speakers. They're gonna have some live entertainment, a band or DJ or something like that, and there's like a fundraiser type of event.
for her.
Yes, absolutely. So
Love you back, Renee. So yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So she has one coming up here at the VUAK. She has a fundraiser coming up. Stay tuned. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be amazing. So it's going to be a fashion show that's happening, and this guy does custom suit stuff. So it's going to be nice. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get this fundraising done for her. Let's get her back, back in where she's supposed to be. She got work to do. She always has work to do, and I thank God for her because she feeds the community.
Right.
She has that. I think it's like once a month. I know it's once or twice a month when she out at the jail at the Justice Center. They call it Justice Center now, where it was just a lot of food. You come by and you can pick up your groceries, and it was just a lot. So she does way more than anybody think that she does in this community.
Absolutely.
And I know she has a nonprofit. I know she's out with the seniors. Because I've been out with her, with her whole team when they went out, and the seniors love her.
Yes.
So it's a lot that this woman does in this community. I just think people just don't have a clue about.
Yep, need to find out. And shout out to Mike Jones, who represents our district here, part of Chesterfield, Bonaire, and the 8th District. This is the 7th House of Delegate District. He's another one that, again, does a lot of work. I was out with him Saturday for the town hall, Sunday for his re-election kickoff. And even though he doesn't have an opponent, what he's doing, the money that he's raising, he wants to make sure that there are 4 seats that are being contested in the House of Delegates. And he wants to make sure that those 4 Democrats are able to keep their seat, because if they lose 2 seats, I believe, then it gives the Republicans in the House of Delegates the majority. And if they get the majority, whatever Trump does, and because we know that the governor, even though he's on his way out, he's going to sign off. And so it'll be a lot more changes here in Virginia. So with that note, appreciate that. I'll go out and vote on June the 17th and also for the November election because we got a lot on the line here in the Commonwealth. But a lot of people are going to be looking at us. From Lieutenant Governor, Governor, all the House of Representatives, Senate, and everything. And if we can make this stay blue, then we can continue to have a better life. I think here in Virginia than most states will have.
Colette McKeechin, she's
absolutely
been on the ticket this year as well.
Yep.
Donald McKeechin's wife. So hey.
Yeah. In fact, I'll be with her Thursday night as one of her fundraisers. So a lot going on. Stay involved. Those of you that are Democrats, you'll be more information to be coming out about the Richmond City Democratic Committee. We're going to be having a meeting April the 5th, and I'll let you all know next week that location. So stay engaged, stay involved.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see y'all next week on Let's Talk Tuesday. Let's talk about it.
Right.
Get myself out of some trouble, y'all.
What she
Pray
said.
for me.
The first thing that you need to do is to make sure you get yourself to as safe place as you can. Find yourself a competent attorney who practices in personal injury and will understand some of the things that you're going through. And as I tell people, for 33 years I've been doing this. I've had my own accident. So I would like to be one of those individuals that they would interview so I could at least try to find out how I can best help them myself.